What if one late night phone call from your teenager turned into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against you?
Welcome to She Wins: Women, Wealth, Wisdom, and Legacy, the podcast where financial empowerment meets fearless living. If you're a woman who's built a life with purpose and is ready to align your wealth with what matters most, you're in the right place. Your host, Carol Eddy, is a certified financial planner, financial educator, and passionate advocate for helping women live fearlessly and leave a legacy. Whether they are preparing for retirement, managing an inheritance, or simply looking for trustworthy financial guidance, Carol has helped her clients feel confident in their financial plan for over 25 years. Each week, she'll share insights and practical strategies to help you create financial freedom, navigate smart money choices, master your money mindset, and make winning decisions now and for the next chapter of your life. No intimidation, no overwhelm, no jargon, just wisdom, clarity, and the confidence to manage your wealth, embrace your power, and craft a future you love. Welcome to the show. As a reminder, the content shared on this podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It does not constitute personalized financial advice. For guidance tailored to your specific situation, you can schedule an appointment with Carol. This is an independent podcast not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corporation. All securities offered through Money Concepts Capital Corporation member, FINRA SIPC.
It's 12:37 a.m. when the phone rings. You bolt upright. On the other end, your teenage voice is trembling. Mom, Dad, I've been in an accident. Your heart stops. You throw on clothes, grab your keys, and drive faster than you've ever driven in your life. When you arrive, the scene is total chaos. Flashing lights, police cars, paramedics. Your child is on the curb, pale and shaking. You run to them, wrap them in your arms, thankful that they're alive. But then you see the other car. A woman is being lifted into an ambulance. Later you learn she's a surgeon. Her hand may never be steady again. By morning, your child is safe at home, but later you're facing a new nightmare because the car is in your name and you are being sued. The lawsuit isn't just for the damage to the car, it's for medical bills, lost wages, and decades of future income loss. The number is staggering, several $1 million, way beyond your auto insurance, which means it's aimed at you, your retirement accounts, your home, your savings. One accident, one lawsuit, and the financial security you spent a lifetime building could vanish overnight. This isn't a scare tactic, it's a reality. And today, we're talking about one of the most overlooked threats to your wealth: teen drivers, liability risk, and why umbrella insurance may be the most important and most affordable safeguard you ever buy. The hard truth about teen drivers. Let's start with the facts. According to the CDC Transportation Organization, teenagers are the highest risk group of drivers on the road. Drivers between 16 and 19 are nearly 3 times more likely to be involved in a fatal crash compared to adults. The number one cause, inexperience combined with distraction. Phones, music, friends in the car, all multiply the risks. Add in peer pressure, speeding, or heaven forbid, alcohol, and the dangers skyrocket. I'm sure that's no surprise to you. But here's something parents don't realize. The average serious accident costs more than $1 million in medical bills, damages, and lawsuits. Catastrophic accidents, they can run to tens of millions of dollars. Now let's look at your auto insurance. Do you know your liability limits? For most families, it's $100,000, maybe $250,000, possibly $300,000, and in some cases even $500,000. That might sound like a lot until you're staring down a $5 million lawsuit. That's the gap between what you think you're covered for and what could actually destroy your financial security. The questions that parents don't want to face. When I sit down with clients who have teenage drivers, I don't start with charts or investment returns. I start with hard questions. Questions that make them stop in their tracks. What if your child seriously injured someone in an accident tonight? What if that person was a surgeon who could no longer operate? Do you realize that if the car is in your name, you are the one being sued? Do you know exactly how much your insurance protection you have? What happens if your child has one sip of alcohol? For minors, that voids the insurance coverage entirely. Most parents look at me in shock, not because they don't care, because they've never thought it through. So I created a few stories that make it real. Hannah and Josh's nightmare. Hannah and Josh's son, Tyler, was a great kid. Good grades, no trouble. One night after a graduation party, Tyler drove home. He wasn't drinking, but he looked down his phone for just a split second, and that's all it took. He swerved, hit another car, and seriously injured a young mother. The lawsuit? $3.8 million. Their auto insurance covered $250,000, but they didn't have an umbrella policy. Hannah and Josh were forced to sell their home, cash out retirement accounts, and delay their retirement indefinitely. One accident, one lawsuit, decades of progress that are gone. Carlos and Marissa, both doctors, assumed they were protected. Their 19-year-old daughter caused a multi-car pileup on the freeway. Damages totaled $5 million. Their auto policy covered $500,000, but thankfully they had a $5 million umbrella policy. They paid nothing out of pocket. Their wealth and their peace of mind remained intact. Nina, a single mom, always tried to save money, but she felt she couldn't afford the umbrella insurance. Then her teenage son caused an accident that left another driver permanently disabled. The lawsuit was in the millions, and Nina had no way to pay. The Harrisons took their advisor's advice and carried a $3 million umbrella policy. When their daughter caused a multi-car accident that injured several people, they were sued for $2.4 million. Their umbrella policy covered it completely. Their savings, their retirement accounts, and their home, all safe. That one policy preserved their financial future. Leo was going away to college. His parents decided not to give him a car. Instead, set him up with an unlimited Uber access. At first, Leo hated it. His friends teased him. But when 2 classmates were expelled after DUI arrest, Leo was grateful. His parents saved money, reduced risk, and slept better knowing he wasn't behind the wheel late at night. Grace, a grandmother, co-signed for her granddaughter's car loan. She didn't realize that meant the car and the liability was in her name. When her granddaughter caused an accident, Grace was sued. At age 72, she faced losing her home. Generosity turned into financial devastation. And lastly, Malik and Alicia had a son who loved sports cars. So they bought him a used Mustang for his 18th birthday. 2 months later, he caused an accident. Damages exceeded $1 million. They had a $2 million umbrella policy. It covered everything. So what is umbrella insurance and what it isn't? Think of it as a financial safety net. Your auto or your home insurance is always the first layer. But if that is maxed out, the umbrella insurance is the layer on top of that protects you when those limits run out. How it works? Your teen caused an accident. The lawsuit is $1.5 million. Your auto insurance covers $300,000. Without the umbrella, you're personally responsible for the remaining $1.2 million. With a $2 million umbrella policy, it's covered. What does umbrella liability cover? Bodily injury liability, medical bills, lost wages, etc. Property damages liability, legal fees in lawsuits. What it doesn't cover? Your own injuries or property damage, intentional or criminal acts, and that usually includes DUIs, or business liability, because that's a different type of policy. The cost? This shocks most people. For most families, a $1 million umbrella policy might cost $150 to $300 a year. For affluent families, $5 million might cost $800 to $1,200 per year. Pennies compared to the cost of losing your savings. So let's walk through what really happens after a teen accident and a lawsuit. First, there's the crash. The teenager causes an accident and someone is seriously injured. Then there's the claim. The injured party files the claim. Medical bills pile up. The lawsuit, the case moves to court and damages are demanded for $3 million. Your auto insurance policy pays its limit, let's say $250,000. The gap, you're left with $2.75 million to cover. Without umbrella insurance, attorneys come after your savings, investments, and even property. With umbrella insurance, your policy pays the difference. You can walk away financially intact. And that's the difference between inconvenience and devastation. So what are some practical steps for parents? What do you do right now? First, review vehicle titles. Is the car in your name, your teen's name? Know the implications. If you put it in your teen's name, you may not be liable, but the costs generally are higher for insurance. Raise your auto liability limits. Don't settle for the state minimums. Push them higher. Add umbrella coverage, at least 1 million. Often at least 2 to 5 million for affluent families. Consider Lyft and Uber accounts. Sign your children up to use paid car ride service. I recommend telling them that they can use it anytime with no questions asked. Hopefully, it will keep them from taking unnecessary risks. For college students, it can also be safer and more affordable than owning a car. And don't forget to have the conversation. Tell your teen that driving isn't just freedom, it's responsibility, and why you have the protections in place. So talking to teens about money and responsibility, here's where the parenting piece comes in. Your teen may not care about umbrella insurance, but they do need to understand responsibility. Try these scripts. When you drive, you're not just moving a car, you're carrying the responsibility for people's lives. Another one is our insurance protects us, but it doesn't erase the consequences. One mistake could cost millions. And regarding a rideshare, an example would be, that's why we're giving you Uber instead of a car. It's not punishment, it's protection. By narrating your decisions, you're teaching them financial wisdom, not just giving them the rules. This isn't just about insurance, it's about legacy. You've worked hard to build wealth. You've saved, you've invested, and you've planned for retirement. You may even have dreams of giving back to your children, your grandchildren, or your community. But one accident could undo it all. Umbrella insurance may not grow your wealth, but it defends it. And sometimes defense is just as important as offense. So let me ask you, do you know the risk of having your teenager drive a car in your name? Do you know exactly how much liability protection you have today? And is it enough if your child is in an accident and you're being sued? If you don't know, it's time to find out. Here's the good news. This is fixable. When I work with clients, I help them uncover risks they may not see. Then we make sure safeguards are in place. Umbrella insurance, higher liability limits, smarter strategies. It's about peace of mind. Accidents happen every day, but financial ruin doesn't have to. If this resonated with you, share it with another parent of a teen driver. And if you're ready to review your insurance coverage, let's talk. You've worked too hard to leave your future exposed. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for joining us today for the She Wins Women, Wealth, Wisdom, and Legacy podcast. If today's episode sparked a shift in how you think about your money, your future, or your legacy, imagine what's possible when we walk this journey together. And if you found value in today's conversation, please share this episode with a woman you care about. Together we rise and we shine. If this inspired you to take charge of your financial future, don't stop there. Download your free guide, A Woman's Guide to Triumph in Every Decade of Her Wealth, by clicking the link on the screen or in the show notes. It's designed to give you powerful tools and clarity at every stage of your wealth journey. And be sure to follow or subscribe now so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay wise, stay empowered, and remember, it's time to rise, lead, and thrive with your wealth, your wisdom, and your legacy. As a reminder, the content shared on this podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It does not constitute personalized financial advice. For guidance tailored to your specific situation, you can schedule an appointment with Carol. This is an independent podcast not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corporation. All securities offered through Money Concepts Capital Corporation member, FINRA SIPC.